it was.
Shit, technology. I'm glad you're laughing. That is all fine.
Yeah, that's good. But now I have to push record to make sure we record.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clear. So how are you doing?
I'm polyphonic. I'm always polyphonic.
We know each other a little bit, but maybe for the people who don't know you, introduce yourself in 1 or 2 sentences.
Well, as you can see, I have here something that I call out of the box.
Yeah.
It's a violin. And I have for long time ago, I discovered that arts are not properly placed in society. So I'm actually trying to change systemic way of using arts in such a way that we can reach into the real problem solution in society.
And so we how did we call this? It's like human resources meets music.
Human resonance.
Human resonance. Human resources meets human resonance.
Yeah, that's what I always say.
Yeah, that's good. And so I've been talking to many organizations these days, and there are a couple of topics that are top of mind. And one of the top topics these days is about, you could say, resilience. Are organizations resilient? Are people resilient? If there's another crisis, so how can we build resilience? That's, I would say, topic number 1 on my list.
It is beautiful. Well, what comes up on my side immediately is following. When you perform a masterpiece, as a performer, as a violinist, pianist, whatever, you cannot do that halfway. You either completely identify with what you do, 600%, or, you know, it will never be a good performance. So, and look how people perform in organizations. Well, you know, halfway, 16%, 20%. So I'd say if you want to be resilient, you first have to discover what you're really doing in terms of connecting. And in English, it's identifying, which means identity. So in order to have resilience, you have to have your identity straight there all the time. You know, it must have such an important impact on what you do that all the problems just melt away. That's how it is. I'm with artists. No, and always when I have a problems, I always return back to music, and that gives me strength and focus and direction, meaning, all those beautiful things. Look, and how I work, most people don't know about this. I make a transfer. I take my clients on creative detour through a musical masterpiece, and then I make a transfer. For instance, if I start playing a fugue by Bach, and so on. You can immediately notice there is a certain energy there, but it's much more than that. For instance, the beginning is like this, like this. You see, the beginning is like direction. It is like a vision, direction. But you know, we no music if you stopped there. So what is the next step? The next step is what every leader must learn how to do, namely involving everything around the vision. So that will be something like this. And then reinforce the vision out of totality. And that's not enough, you know. Then comes the decision to get it done. See, so this is a very simple example of starting a masterpiece, which means subject, the idea, whatever you want to implement in life. But there you have immediately 3 elements: how to focus, how to involve everybody, and then how to dare to bring it into reality.
What happens in a crisis situation? How do you keep your straight line?
Yeah, in a crisis situation, you first have to have something that pulls you out of it. You know,
Okay,
if it
yeah,
crisis, so you have to go beyond. But look at the crisis. Let me analyze this.
Yeah.
This the first step is what people would like to have today. They would like to say back to normal, right?
Yeah.
Back to normal. No, they say, you know, those who are bringing us this crisis, they say down to the new normal. You know, down to new normal.
Yeah.
And I say, no, I say up, beyond normal. That's important, because, you know, if you're just a normal person, that's boring. Who wants to have normal people? We want to go above normal, which is genius, unique, you know, and that is what we need to discover in a crisis.
You know, Miha, you know the concept of anti-fragile? Anti-fragile is what you said beyond how to come out of a crisis in a better way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So in some way we should be grateful that we have this pressure on us right now, because we have to reinvent ourselves. You know, I never thought I would do these things online, but now I'm reinventing myself, and suddenly I get a company, I speak to 10,000 people. You cannot do that in person, no. But you can do that online. What you say also, you know, you talked to me about nudging, you know, about gentle way of, we have to discover a gentle power that is in the music. For instance, if I start like this, you see, it's gentle, but how does it start? This is called in music upbeat, like invitation. But invitation where? Into the octave. You know, octave in music is the first note repeats itself one layer higher. And you know what octave really is as experience? A relationship between ego and I. We are, you know, our life are spanned between ego and I. You know, you need ego to exist. But if you get stuck in ego, then you don't develop. Then you are a problem. But we are trying to climb this ladder of development towards the highest potential, which is the I am, you know. So, and music does it.
So now an organization comes to you and say, we want something different. We need to kind of revitalize our organization. So what do you do with it?
No, that's happening now all the time. I'm amazed because I have the feeling that the time for the arts is now coming, because people are fed up with too many Zooms and talks. And now you suddenly play. You know, when I start playing, everything changes immediately. So it's another language. Well, when they ask, you know what I tell them? First, I need to know exactly where they come from, what their problems are, what their challenges are, and I want to know what their wishes are, where they would like to be, and so on. So I need their language and their instrumentarium. I need to know what is the situation. And then I need about half a day at least, and I invite, let's say, leadership group of 100 people to spend this afternoon with me. And what I do is this. I first prepare myself to integrate all that data that I have from the company, so that I really can speak from inside, not from outside. And then I take them on detour with choosing a musical masterpiece that would fit this situation. And I take them through that road, and somebody is writing down the ideas while I also paint the process. I paint, I play, disrupt, and so on, and somebody is recording the exotic ideas that are flying out. So, and then when I'm finished, now I ask the participants to divide in groups, and they now answer to me by creating a group poem. And then when they are finished, now we all come together, and now we have 10 performances. and each performance is completely different, but they are all related to original ideas. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe finishing off with a little piece of music.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah. Do you mind? I do a whole process, like 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
That's fine.
Yeah. So you can see how that works.
Yeah.
I will take a Siciliana by Bach.
Okay.
Johann Sebastian Bach. It has this motive. That's the motive. Can you hear the social distancing? Yeah. You have on one hand, that's like this. Yeah. It's like reaching out, trying, wanting, you know, but it doesn't work. So at first, and the other side. You see, the other side is somewhere up there in the cloud, and there is a gap.
Yeah, yeah.
And you could now interpret that in many ways. It's like male, female, or wish and goal, or whatever, yin yang. Yeah? But this is the important, that is the motive, and this motive is now going to develop to its own goal. So what happens? I start here. So this is the nucleus. We will now go from here and see where it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Now what happened? We have always in mind these two sides, you know, this kind of disconnect. How do they communicate? Now, can you hear? One says, oh, oh, and they say, oh. Yeah, so it's, you know, it's like marriage after 10 years.
Yeah.
Each one is pulling in different direction. One goes down, goes up. Now, you must. What? Yeah. Why? Yeah, so you see, the beginning is not in sync. It's like organization usually. So, but then comes transition to next level. For the moment, it's like a gateway opening to the next possibility. So it can go through to the next stage. Because many people are stuck in that stage and they don't get further. But now, let's go on. What does Masterpiece do? Now, this is called modulation in music, which means if you cannot go this way, try that way. Yeah? So it goes in the G minor. New quality. What's new? So what's new? Suddenly appears direction. There was no direction here, and now it says. So there is. It is called basso continuo, which means one line, and around it things are growing. So can you see the difference? So let's go on. Growth. Up to now growing. So it grows. Yeah? High point. And now it's get less and less and less. You see, less and less and less and you see, this is very important. In business, people think only grow, grow, grow. But in life, you grow until you are 18 years old and you stop growing. Because if you grow on, you cannot fit through the door. So, and then what happens? After growth is over, development starts. And development is an inner activity, not outer. So now we come to this place from the high point. Less. You notice completely different mood, but still the same idea. Idea is the same. Yeah, but now the opposite of this is like this. It becomes an intimate inner conversation. Yeah, anyway, something like this. Yeah. It is beautiful, it is intimate, a lot of light. Yeah. The opposite of this. I call this the corporate soul, healing of the corporate soul. Yeah. Now it's, you know, like in Parsifal, asking the right question, listening to each other, dialogue, intimate dialogue. What's new? People don't notice usually, so I have to show. The new thing that just now happened, very important. From here to here, it was the same tendency. The male was below and the other was above. Now it switches around. Which means transformation. Yeah. You see, people, organizations always talk about transformation. Yes, we want transformation. But you must create environment in which transformation is possible, which is very intimate. So now, what was below here, what was here, is now here. What was here is now here. You know, that means suddenly we can, I call this leading out of the other person. So you put yourself in another person experience and then you lead out of that instead of imposing yourself upon people. You try to feel where they are and then you give them just what is right, not too much, not too little. So this is the switch that happens, you see? But now that's not finished. The masterpiece goes on. What's the next stage? What is new? Do you feel the new quality?
Yeah.
Power. Now, out of this inner experience emerges great strength. And what is the new thing is there is no more either or. They become one. It's just one melody supported by harmony, and they emerge out of this with great strength. Until they come to the end, to the peak, and it's bam, bam. Yeah, something like this. So, you see, so what means it comes to the zenith of power. You know how many people have this problem? They come to the top of the power and they cannot let go. You know, it's about letting go. Let go. Because if you know how to let go when you are powerful, then that yet transcends you to another level. But if you keep on power, that brings you down again. So what happens then? Let go. And then what happened? You come back to the beginning as transformed human being. You know, you come back to the beginning.
Yeah, nice.
You found your own grail, I call it.
So
you see, these are the 3 points of development. The first one, which starts with kind of disaster, which is usually the case, and then finding the way and growing around that, aligning, and then creating the inner space of conversation, to really listen to the others, to become really close to each other, and then out of that, reaching the next level and then letting go and see what future has in store for you. So, you know, it's much more than what I'm saying right now. But if we listen exactly, we can see that piece. There is so much meaning in it. You know, it is an archetype. I call it archetype. That is why you can use it. You can use it the way you want.
Yeah. Great, super.
Okay.
Yeah, we could go on, but I think we have to stop for now. And,
yes.
We will show where people can contact you if they want more.
Well, we should do it together. I need you for for moderating and then
but I
especially
cannot play any instrument.
Yeah. But when we come to debriefing,
absolutely.
That's where your expertise could be. We should do that someday at some HR conference also, where
Super.
they are looking for new ways of reaching to people's deeper layers. No.
Yeah. I stopped the recording now.
Okay.
I hope it succeeded.
Yeah.